So how does the future look for a focus on compassion, care, business, leadership, and organizations more generally? Let me begin by saying that it's a generative time for thinking about care, compassion, business, and leadership. By generative time, I mean there's both deep interest and real possibility opening up through a renewed focus on care and compassion in business, but also in other institutions. Here's just some of the indicators. First, there's been a groundswell of interest in fostering compassionate institutions. This includes compassionate cities, compassionate universities, and compassionate businesses. In 2008, Karen Armstrong, a popular and thoughtful writer, used her TED Talk to call for a charter for compassion, designed to unleash compassion as a global force for treating people well across the globe. As of this morning, there were more than 92,000 signatures on this charter. But more impressively, Armstrong's TED Talk and a week-long gathering in Seattle, Washington in 2008 called the Seeds of Compassion prompted a social movement designed to certify cities, universities, and other institutions to take a compassion pledge to foster more compassion through encouraging both compassionate thought and compassionate action. The Compassion Action Network was conceived, which is self-described as a network of networks, to foster attention towards compassionate action in all institutions. Still another organization has recently emerged that is fostering a focus on business and compassion. The International Working Group of Compassionate Organizations, which was formed this year, is dedicated to, quote, assisting organizations in creating cultures of compassion so that those within the organizations, the people they serve, and others throughout the world can more fully and effectively survive, thrive, and contribute. This group is having its first international summit in May in one of the certified compassionate cities, Louisville, Kentucky, and the focus of the summit is on fostering compassionate organizations. At the same time that there is this groundswell of interest in compassionate institutions, I also see an interest in compassion in business arriving from new scientific developments and institutional support for research on compassion. So, for example, there's a new Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education at Stanford University that was generated in part by the rapidly growing neuroscientific evidence about the causes and impacts of compassion. The group at Stanford is convening their first conference on compassion in business this spring. This organization, as well as many other scientific dialogues about compassion and care, have been fueled and supported through the abiding commitment of the Dalai Lama and other leaders in the contemplative tradition who have supported scientific inquiry into understanding how to cultivate compassion.